All right. This is try number 3 for audio issues on the Computer Science 329 Unessay for presentation for Group 13. So yeah, how I envision this working is we'll go through the application quickly, which is a quiz game that will test our skills, and then run through the code to see how everything works. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. So the quiz game, it runs right in the terminal using end curses for the GUI. So let's just run that. So yep, super simple. It doesn't require a Python VM or anything because end curses and all the packages we need are built right in, which is super nice, super portable. So let's launch. So we're into end curses here. So you think you're elite. We got this nice multicolored ASCII art, a game to test your security and privacy skills. Sounds great for 329, right? Just pointing out some other things. We've got a status bar on the bottom that gives dynamic instructions as per what's going on at the stage in the game. So we can exit or press enter to continue. Let's continue as we've hardly even started. So we've got, sorry about the cough, by the way. It's been with me all week, so I'll do my best. Yeah, okay, so we've got a question and we've got 4 possible choices. We could choose what percentage of users have stopped using public Wi-Fi. Let's say 27%. Great. Get a nice little notification saying we did a great job, and a nicely wrapped text box with all the information that you could want to know about this answer. Nice the links show up too. I was very happy to find out that the text box is wrapped fairly nicely in end curses without too much screaming. So yeah, that was pretty good. So moving on, we could press enter to continue. We've got input validation as well. I can mash the keyboard and nothing will happen unless I press enter. And the same goes for we got select 1 to 4 here. I can mash the keyboard, I can mash enter, nothing will happen until I press 1 to 4. So input validation is always nice. So let's read this. Which bash command will not change the present directory to the user's home directory? Well, I think that is, seeing as I wrote it, question option number 4. Wow, look at me getting these right. Yeah, short description again, super simple layout, but you know. Average ransom paid by mid-sized organizations. I'm gonna go 3. Oh, damn, it's 2. It's expensive. I should get in a ransomware game. No, I know. I signed the ethics document. I know I can't. Online fraud through mobile platforms. I don't know. Say 50%. 70%. Don't use your cell phone. Get a permission denied answer. What do you do? Well, I think I should sudo that. Permission denied error. Oh, damn. You should chmod it. But not chmod 777. Anyway, continuing on. Percentage of websites using non-secure cookies. Let's say 1. 60%. And what percentage of Gen Z uses insecure passwords? Let's say 2. 78. Oh, I'm getting owned by this game today. Oh, man. So we're at our finish screen here, and again, input validation. A nice little insult to send you off. I've been pwned of a 2 out of 7. The message here changes depending on your score overall. So yeah, all we can do now is exit, and let's talk about some code. Yeah, so the code, it's nothing too fancy, but I think it came out pretty good. We got the art here, some constant definitions for the ASCII table, that sort of thing for handling input. We do have some globals for width and height in the question counter. I mean, less than ideal, but we're not sending a person to the moon here, so I think that will be okay. We move on to open up our JSON file, which we've got up on the other side here. So we open that up as a big fat string, and then we split that string. Then we sample. So we have these questions set up in a JSON array. We sample from these questions 7, so the user isn't sitting there trying to answer 21 questions in a game and having absolutely no fun. So we sample 7 of them into a question list, so you get different questions every time. This is some end curses set up for color. Again with the cough, sorry. So getting into the main game loop here, we've got, so essentially just a while loop, and then inside here, state table pretty much. So you start out in state title. If you press enter, you transition to state question. If you're in question, you press anything from 1 to 4, you transition to the question answer screen, which will tell you all about the correct answer. So that's how the essential game mechanics work there. Of course, we're clearing and drawing every time. If you hear any noise in the background, my cat's just kind of dicking around. So, so moving on from that all works pretty well. For drawing, we have different functions for drawing each of these stated ideas here. So we have the status bar on the bottom, which is drawn dynamically based on the state. So it gives you your options as to what you can actually input into the program right now. Tells you that explicitly, which is always good. This is where we draw the end. So we got the title here. We got all the different strings to insult you based on your performance in the game. So we got pwned during our playthrough, but you can be a script kiddie, or you could be almost elite, or an elite uber hacksaw. So always nice to be rewarded for our hard work. So we draw the question here, have a nice little loop to do that. The question follow-up is slightly more interesting. You just draw, instead of doing fancy logic, just draw your response. Draw your response and then draw correct over it if it just happens to be correct. So that's easy. This is where all the formatting, the text box happens. Use a sub window and end curses to do that, and then use the Python fill, text wrap fill. Using those together works pretty beautifully, honestly. I was impressed. For drawing the title, that's slightly interesting as well. So for printing the ASCII art, you loop over it line by line. Thank you, some guy on Stack Exchange, for telling me. And then you print each of the lines, and we have the nice rainbow coloring, which is handled by this rainbow magic variable, which is iterated +1 through the enum of colors that ncurses has, and then it loops back around if you reach the top of the enum. So if you reach the color white, which is the top, and red, which is the bottom, you cycle. So that pretty much covers all of it in terms of the Python code. For the JSON, we just hold everything in a big old JSON array. Each of the questions is an object. We have just a couple of fields, a topic. Each of the group members was assigned 7 questions to produce on a topic. So we just have, that's not printed anywhere, but we have it there anyway. A question that we're going to ask them, an array of choices, and an index for the correct choice, which works really nice for the game logic, makes it anyway, and then an explanation at the bottom. So currently we're missing just one of the group members' questions. He'll get them in soon, but that's about it. That's the demo of our quiz game. I'll finish on the ASCII art and call it a demonstration. See ya.